Hello everyone, this is Raj here. Welcome to the world of Salesforce. Today is the day 8 class where we are going to create formula fields, right? So till in the previous class we have discussed the field under the fields and relationships. So we have seen the remaining fields. So today we are going to see one more field how to create this formula field, right? So let me go into the Salesforce. What exactly the formula field we are going to discuss today. So go to the Salesforce. Yeah. See here, when you go to any object manager, any object, let's say account, go to the fields, create a new field. So we have seen all these data types here. There is a one data type missing here, formula. Formula data type is missing here. So what is this formula? What exactly this formula field is? Let us see here. Right, we know that how to create fields inside the Salesforce. Right, upon selecting this field, there are different data types are available inside the Salesforce. Right, so in the if you observe all these data types, so you need to enter some value in it, but I don't want to enter any value. I want to generate a value automatically based on some expression or based on some value. It should be generated, right? Based on some expression, that particular formula field value should be generated. I don't want to enter any value after saving the record, right? After saving the record inside the database. So I want to generate the value automatically. Got it? So let's say, for example, so in the account object, go to any one of the record. If you can see here under the details, so there is some annual revenue. There is some annual revenue for every customer, right? He is the customer, Textile Corporation of America. So for his customer, what is the annual revenue here? Some annual revenue is there. Okay. So now I want to calculate what amount of tax he is paying to the government, or what amount of tax he is paying. Right? That tax you don't need to calculate. Right? So the 350 millions into some calculation, you don't need to calculate all these things. So that particular tax value should be generated automatically based on some formula value. Right? Here you need to keep in mind that whenever any record is created, right, this formula field will be generated automatically. So it is, we are not going to edit this field. Right? It is generated by Salesforce system generated. So I am the system admin, so I can have the rights, I can able to edit the record. No, formula fields cannot be edited. Right? We cannot edit the formula fields. It is generated by Salesforce system only. These are completely read-only fields. These are completely read-only fields. Right? So whenever we are updating this particular value, if I have written the formula field based on this field, so whenever I am going to change this value, so formula field is recalculating and can generate the value. Right? So what is the formula field here? It is a read-only system generated fields whose value is generated by Salesforce. Whose value is generated by Salesforce. So based on what? So based on the formula or based on the expression that entered by you, entered by the developer while creating the field. So you are giving some expression, right? Based on that expression, it is going to calculate. Formula field cannot be edited by admins or by developers, right? These fields will be recalculated upon updating the record. Right? See here how to create this formula fields. So whenever you are going into the here, see there, whenever you are going to fields and relationships, so under fields you are having different data types. You are having here formula. While creating the field, we have to select data type as formula. Right? So while creating the field, we have to select this data type. Right? For this also, for this formula also, Salesforce is providing some ready-made functions. In order to prepare a formula field, so Salesforce is offering to you some ready-made functions. So what are these some of the ready-made functions? Right? So what are the functions that are available in this formula fields? Let's say, for example, a small example here. There is a one function known as ABS. ABS. Right? Nothing but absolute function, which I have to pass the number here. Absolute function. It is mainly used to calculate the absolute value of a given number. So absolute value means what? So if there is, for example, a negative value, example, there is any negative values, ABS of, say there is some minus 24.2, like this, some value is there. So if you keep the formula as APS of this 24.2, the final output will be 24.2 only. There is no minus. So it will be converted to plus. What about plus? It will keep as is, as is. So ABS of, for example, plus 24.5, like this it is there. So it will keep like the same as is value. Right? This is one small example here. If I want to calculate some square root of the numbers, some square root of, there is a one function known as square root, SQRT, like this, square root of number. Right? Inside this, if I am going to pass some 144, the output will be 12. These are the some, like this, the formula function will work here. Right? So in some cases, I want to calculate the length of a string. The length of a string. It is mainly used to return the integer values. That means, for example, here, so like this, the string is there, welcome. Right? How many characters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to calculate all these characters. How many characters are there? Right? And it should return some integer value to me. Like 7 means 7. So 7, I want to return this value. Right? I want to return 7 value. So you have to use the function as len of whatever the string you have to pass, you have to pass this string. So welcome, you have to pass it here. Length of len of welcome. Right? It is mainly used to return integer value. Right? How many characters are available inside this string, including the spaces. Here, important point you need to keep that, including the spaces. Right? So how many characters are there? 7. So it will return 7. Now I want to remove the space. For example, there is some space. So while creating any record, if you see here, while creating any record inside the database, there is a chance. There is a chance of creating some spaces before the, see here, before the some text value. Right? Some, see here, some space is there. Now click on save button. See, for you, it is not visible. The spaces are not visible. But in the back end, the spaces are there. So how to remove those spaces? Right? In order to remove those spaces in the fields, you have to use trim. You have to use trim. Right? So in order to remove the blank spaces in the fields. So let's say, for example, so there is some space here. Welcome. And some space here. Right? So the file output will be welcome, like this. There will be no spaces. Now I want to convert this particular string into a capital letters, like uppercase. So for this, I have to use upper. Upper, inside this, you have to pass string like this. Upper, welcome. You have to pass like this. It is mainly used to convert the specific string to uppercase. So here I have written all in the lower case. So the final output will be like this. Right? Like this, if I want to store the uppercase to lowercase means you have to use lower. lower of the string. It is a string, right? So welcome. So lower of welcome. So it will give answer. Output will be like this. Okay. So now there is a one more important function that you have to practice, right? All these functions you have to practice in order to create the formula fields, right? There is a one more function as I have to collect the first few characters of any string, right? Of any string. So how many characters I want to collect? So based on that, for example, I will tell you one small example here. So whenever you are receiving a calls, you will receive the call as +91 some number 9876543 2. Like this you will get, right? So based on these three characters, I can know the country, right? I can know the region where this particular call is coming from based on first three characters. That means I have to store these first three characters in a separate field. I have to collect. No, I don't want to remove like this. So just I want to collect whatever the phone number I am getting. So I am going to collect this phone number and I'm going to store in a separate field, which is known as a formula field. And there I am going to calculate whether it belongs to which country, which region, right? So for example, like this. So there is a one more like +61, something is there. So +81, something is there, number. So based on first three characters, you are going to identify, yes, this is an Australian number. Yes, this is an some Chinese series, like this. Right? How I am going to collect these characters like this? So for this, you have to use the function as left of whatever the string you have to pass the string value, comma, how many characters I want to collect. How many characters I want to collect. So which is in the form of an integer. Integer. Right? So for example, let's say welcome is there. Right? Welcome. Example, left of some welcome. Like this is there. This is a string. Welcome, comma. How many characters I want to collect? Let's say 3 to 4 characters I want to collect. Right? So I have given the integer value. So the output will be WELC. That's it. It is going to store this value. The formula field is going to store this value. And based on internal logics, we can calculate. So what is this WELC? So based on, for example, I have passed this phone number. So it is going to take +91. So what is this +91? It is related to Indian number. So that automation we can discuss in the later coming classes. Right? So if I want to collect the last three characters, in some cases, based on this last three characters, if I want to collect, right, then I have to use right of the string value, right of the string value, comma, how many characters I want to take. Let's say three characters. So the output will be OME. It will be stored under the formula field. Okay. Now I want to collect in between of the characters. In between of the so first characters I have collected, last characters I have collected. But I want to store from this from here to here. I want to store. How? So for this, there is a one more function Salesforce giving to you known as substring. Substring. Right? Where I'm going to pass the string value. I'm going to pass the string value, comma. You have to specify the starting position. You have to specify the starting position, right? You have to specify the starting position, comma, and from there, how many characters I want to collect? Number of characters. How many characters I want to collect? From the specified position, we are able to collect the characters. So you have to give like this substring of let's say string, right? Welcome to Salesforce, right? Like this, there is a string, right? Comma. So from it should it will consider the spaces as well, right? It will consider the spaces as well. So you have to take this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have to take from the 12th position, right? What is the starting position? What is the starting position? That means 12, 12th position, comma. How many characters I want to collect? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, comma 10. So final the output will be Salesforce. So it is going to store in a formula field, right? So like this, these are the some important functions and some more functions related to date functions. For example, I need to calculate the date values. So I need to store the date values. How? So there is a one more function known as today. Today, right? Today. It is mainly used to store the today's date value. That means server's date. If I want to store the year, so year, right? So only year. So year of whatever the date is there, it did. So it will give some 2024. Like this, the answer will be. So here the date will be 2024 0904, right? So I want to store only the month. So there is a one more function for month of date. So it is going to store 09. If I want to store the day of date, it is going to store 04, like this, right? So let me create one formula field quickly. Go to the Salesforce. See here, just create this formula field. Now click on next. Now you can see here, data type is ready. So final, the answer is storing somewhere, right? So whatever the values which I have shown to you in the previous examples also, there is a text value is there is an integer value is there. That means the final answer is nothing but a return. So what is the return type should be? The formula return type should be, right? The formula return type should be what? So for example, I am going to calculate the service tax for it. And for annual revenue, I am going to calculate the service tax. This is my use case. So there is a business use case that, so create a formula field to calculate some 10% of service tax based on this annual revenue, whatever the annual revenue will be. So based on this, I want to calculate the 10% of annual revenue. So these are all the written data types. All these are data types only. So if you see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all these are data types which you have seen earlier. Checkbox, you have seen currency, date type, number, person, text, time. All these are data types only. But whatever the written value giving from the formula field, what is that data type? Right? What is that data type? So here you can see here, I want to calculate the annual revenue. So what will be the data type here? So annual revenue means it is also some amount only it is going to return. So based on this annual revenue, I'm going to calculate the tax. So that means, the return value is also some amount value. So go here, click on amount means currency. Right, currency value. How many decimal places? So only two places I want to keep. Close, click on next. Right, you must enter a value here. So let's say label will be service tax. Okay, service tax is my label. Okay, click on next. See here. So there is a simple formula is there. You need to write all the formula or advanced formula is there. So click on this advanced formula. See here already the functions which I had said, ABS, absolute function, add months, end. So logical function for all these functions are available, right? So now I am going to calculate annual revenue, right? So return type I have taken currency. What is the value I need to take here? 10% of annual revenue. So insert a field account annual revenue, insert into you have to insert operator. See here, insert operator, multiply symbol is there, right? Multiply by 10%, 10 divided by 100. This is the formula I am entering in the backend. So now divide, insert operator divided by 100. That's it. Now check the syntax. No syntax errors are there. So if you want to write any description, help text, yes, you can write or treat fields as a 0 or blank. If there is no value, you can treat it as a 0 or simply keep it as a blank. So click on next. It should be visible to system administrator. Okay. I'm selecting all, it should be visible to all profiles. Click on next. So which page layouts? So there are 4 page layouts, standard page layouts given by the Salesforce. Okay, click on save. For all these page layouts, the field is going to be added. Now come here, just refresh the screen. See here, service tax. 10% of service tax is added. Okay, let me show you in small values. Let me take here some 20,000 I have taken. Right, some 20,000 I have taken. Click on save button. Automatically in the back end, it is going to calculate. See, 2,000 is a service tax. For this 20,000 value, 2,000 is a service tax. Now, there is no editable. See here, we cannot edit this field. If we edit the record also, see, service tax is non-editable. We cannot edit this field. If we change the value in the back end, it is going to calculate 30,000. Save it in the back end. It is going to, after saving the record into the database, it is going to calculate and giving us the value. Now I want to take one more formula field, which should give annual revenue after deducting the tax. What is my net amount? After deducting the tax from annual revenue, what is the net amount? It should also be considered, right? So there is a one more use case. There is a one more use case to calculate the net amount, remaining amount after deducting the tax from the annual revenue. Right? Let me create one more formula field here. Create new. Click on formula. Click on next. So for what is the return type will be? Return type is now also it is currency. Right? Now here net amount. Okay. Now click on next. Go to the advanced formula. So I need to calculate annual revenue minus service tax, right? Insert field. What is that? Annual revenue. Insert operator, subtract, minus insert field, service tax. See, service tax, right? Underscore C, which we have created, right? Insert. That's it. Completed. Now check for the syntax if any errors are there. If no errors, then click on save button. Next, add to profiles. Visible. Click on next and save. Okay. See. Now go here. Just refresh the screen. See here. Now the net amount is added here. Right. So if I change the annual revenue, automatically these two values will be recalculated and it will be shown to us. See, let me edit here from 5 lakhs. Right. Now I'm saving this. So what will be the service tax here? See, 50,000 will be the service tax after removing this service tax from the annual revenue. So what is the net amount? 4,50,000. Right. Like this, we are going to use the formula fields. Right. If I want to create any date also, return type as a date, yes, you can use the date. Right. How much, for example, what whenever this record is created, so how many days this record has been created. Let's say, for example, there are so many cases, right? So for every in a service cloud, there is cases will be created. right? There is some cases will be created here. If you go to the case, so when this case is open, so till today, how many days has been completed? If you see here, when this case has been opened, date opened is 27/8. So 27/8/2024. So how many days has been completed today? September 9th. Sorry, September 4th, right? So almost 7 to 8 days is completed. How? So whether I need to calculate manually? No. Here also you can create formula fields. So you can calculate today's date minus data time open. So if the return type is at the date, you can write. So there you can write the formula as today date, today minus whatever the open date is there. So then the formula field will show that, okay, till today, this many days has been completed. So till today, 8 days has been completed. This case has been created till 8 days, right? Like this, you are going to create the formula fields. Then what is the use? So based on these dates, I can generate the automations. I can write the few automations in the backend. So for example, if you are having any credit cards, right? So for every first month, there will be an email to you. So this bill has been generated. So again, 15th of the month, 15 days completed, you have to pay the bill amount, right? So there is a due amount of this so and so. So based on this age field, based on this age field in the sense how many days completed till now, this case has been created. Like this, we are going to send some email notifications as well. That automations in the coming classes when automations topic is that we can discuss there. Right, like this we can give number of return types. Whatever the return types are there for under formula, we can keep on practicing all these return types. So I will tell you one website. So go to this Salesforce formula of examples PDF. See here, examples of advanced formula fields. If you click on this, there is a one PDF generated like validation. Yesterday I have shown the validation rules, right? The same like this here for the formula fields also there is a one PDF generated. Here the number of examples are there. See here total 39 pages are there. In the validation rule you have seen 35 pages. So here in the formula fields total 39 pages are there. So keep on practicing all these examples. Don't copy paste. Simply copy and paste in the formula field and selecting the return type and save it. Don't do like that. Right? You have to practice each and every example. Right? Each and every example. You have to write the formula on your own and then you have to check whether I have whatever the formula written is right or wrong. Right? See, a number of formula fields are there. The descriptions are there. So you have to practice all these things. So if you are having any doubts in my class throughout this session or while practicing all these examples, if you are having any doubts at any point, right? So please mention that particular doubt clearly in the comment section. So in the weekends, I will be on live. So we are going to discuss one-to-one discussions will be there, right? If number of doubts will be there, so I will prioritize all these doubts in a sequential order and I will explain you and I will come to the live. So there we can discuss one-to-one. So whatever you are having the doubts, please mention in the comment section. Okay. So keep practicing these examples. So tomorrow we are going to see security features of the Salesforce. Whatever the security features are available in the Salesforce that we are going to discuss in the next class. So keep following this channel for the latest updates. Okay. Thank you.